Oh, okay, so I think we're live. We just
I think
take,
we are live.
so we just take a minute.
Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. Oh, I think we just went live. Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. We'll give you a few minutes for people to check in.
And I will
You're gonna share.
share it. Join.
We already have a comment. Michaela O'Rourke said, "Love you, Heather."
Love you too.
Why does it not let me tag people sometimes? That's validation, right? Sabrina, that's validation.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the mission statement. So the mission statement for Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions, our mission is to connect those with substance use disorder to recovery treatment services. Additionally, we offer scholarships to safe and effective sober living. We educate the public through community outreach and help veterans access premier quality treatment. Our organization embraces cultural diversity and is inclusive of every race, religion, sexual orientation, veteran status, socioeconomic background, disability, and age group. So just a little description of what we do. We help people access treatment. We can help anybody, no matter their insurance, no insurance, private insurance, mass health. We help people fast track their way to treatment. We help come up with treatment plans for them. We offer recovery coaching. It's all volunteer. There's no charge associated with it, no cost associated with that. We offer referrals to intervention services. If a loved one is having a hard time realizing or seeing that they have an addiction, we help them, connect to an interventionist that can maybe help. We also, what else do we do?
Did you say placement?
Yeah, we do placement.
Yeah.
We provide scholarships for people in need of sober living, and that's why we're here tonight, to help raise money for that. And part of what we're doing is our Dollars for Angels. So Dollars for Angels, our angels are people that are out there that are in need of services, or they may be out there still struggling, and when they're in need of services, we want to be able to provide that. We never want to have to say no. So tonight the suggested donation is $9 because that's Sabrina's birth month. So in order to memorialize Sabrina, we want, if you could donate $9, that would help out a lot. And we've been placing people into sober living pretty fairly
A lot,
yeah. So we've had like 4 scholarships this month.
Yeah. So your donations are going to that.
They're going a long way.
They're going so that, but we want to be able to keep doing that. So any amount, matters, whether it's $9, whether it's less than that, whether it's more than that, it's going to continuously help people stay in these sober livings, and so we can scholarship them, and people that are stepping down from a higher level of care, if they want that, next level, it's a proven statistic that they do better when they are able to go into another level of care, like going from PHP or what is it, detox, CSS to sober living. And that's a big thing if someone wants to be willing to do that. So we want to offer it and say yes, and like Mike said, never say no. And to go over our team, we have our founder, Julie Bunch, our co-founder, Debbie Moore. We have Kim G, who's enjoying a fabulous vacation in Florida. She's our social media superstar extraordinaire. Mandy McGowan, I was just going to say Mandy Moore because I'm losing my mind. Mandy, who's, her and Tammy, who are both 2 members of our team, killing it at the little shelter, helping people any chance they can get. They both inspire me every day. We have Linda Powell, our registered nurse, who's another great asset to our team. We have Dina.
Dina, welcome back.
Welcome back, Dina. Richie, the wolf. And then, do we have another new male member?
I think we have Derek Burns.
Oh,
yeah.
D. Buns?
D. Buns is a member of the team.
He's a member of our team as well. Yeah. And another thing, we have our event on September 12th.
12th, yeah.
So, anyone who wants to do a resource table, reach out to us, vendors, volunteers. We're really excited about it. It's going to be in memory of 4 people. So, Michael Murphy, Felicia, Pablo, and Nick Jones from Waltham.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great event. If you need more information, just reach out to the page. Okay, we do have a couple of comments. You read Michaela's, right?
That's the only, yep, that's the one.
Olga Anna Gomez said, hi guys, hi Olga.
Hi, Olga.
Thank you for tuning in. Michaela said you can do this with prayer symbols. Matt Gannon with the fire.
Really? I'm not seeing those.
Why?
I don't know.
Only I can see them. I'm just kidding. Blake Rickerson said this. What about Word?
I see that one. When others respond differently.
Yeah, normally he comments Word. Teresa, Mike's mom said, happy Sunday, everyone.
Hi, Mom.
Happy Sunday, Teresa. Someone from Greater Waltham said, good evening. Rory asked, anyone else having issues with them fading in and out? Uh-oh.
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 Let us know if you're still having the same
I
issues.
hope we're not having technological difficulties, because I'm not, I can try to be an expert in it, but I'm really not that great. Olga said she is as well. Susan Sheerans Bruno said, hi guys.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, that's awesome! Okay, so let's
start
dive
get
in.
started, yeah.
So how has addiction affected your life?
Okay. So, I never know where to start with this, so I guess I'll start at the beginning.
Yep.
I was 21 years old when I had Sabrina. She came into my life. I was a single mom. And, I can say that, that moment when she came into my life, it really gave me purpose for the first time. Not in the greatest place in my life, not really knowing, what I should be doing with my life. I dropped out of college and just kind of not really, didn't really feel like I had a purpose. And, she really kind of changed all that for me. Being a single mom, I'll say that I was blessed. I have an amazing family, a huge family, and they surrounded her with so much love. Sabrina was so close to her cousins, my sisters, my aunts, my parents. My dad was unbelievable with her, who also celebrated 35 years. So
Wow!
Congratulations, Dad.
That's awesome.
It really is. And so, in the beginning, in her preschool years and such, life was great. She had built-in best friends all around, and we enjoyed her. Sabrina was, she was funny, she was mischievous, and we just, we loved her. She was always making everybody laugh. When Sabrina got into kindergarten, she started to struggle a little bit. We'd have some issues here and there. I was told that she went to a private kindergarten. They told me, well, it's because she's bored. She needs to move on. That's what the issue is here. No problem. I'll fix this. So I moved her on to first grade.
Yeah.
I skipped right over, and we got right into first grade. We went the next couple of years. I would do everything I could to help Sabrina fit in. I was the Girl Scout leader. I was the soccer coach. I was the anything and everything.
You did it all.
Yeah, really. And we hit fourth grade, and they said, no, the problem is that she's a little behind the other kids. That's what it is. It's a maturity thing, and you should hold her back. That's what you need to do. Okay, we're gonna fix this. This is gonna make everything all better. And Sabrina, and we held her back. We move on to middle school, and you get to a point in your life where girls can be mean.
Yeah.
And and it was it's
Guys too.
yeah.
Everyone's mean.
No,
Girls can be vicious.
Worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible. And we were just trying to to get through it. Not everybody loves school.
Yeah.
And we're moving on. She's getting to high school, and now things are progressing. She doesn't want to go to school. There's issues. She's fighting in school. She hates it. Where I've gone through everything to get her an IEP in place, and this and that. It doesn't matter if she gets in trouble. I'm there to defend her. I will fight the principal, the superintendent, whoever it is, to go through. This is not her fault, and I am going to fix this. And I get to a point where things they're evolving. I'm seeing things that I shouldn't see. I find a piece of tinfoil and a little piece of a straw in her car, and I'm trying to this isn't her.
Yeah.
And I realize these things about about myself of like, her, she's lying to me, it's
Yeah.
obvious, and I wanna believe this. So things start to happen. Her brother's video games are starting to be missing. My Kindle's gone, well, we can always find a reason.
Yeah.
You lent your games to somebody, I
Yeah.
misplaced it, whatever, but we realize there's something bigger going on. And, but we get to a point I find out she'd stolen a credit card. And that was really the turning point of knowing that this is something bigger.
Right.
So she goes to stay with my mom, and she goes into an IOP program, and we're gonna fix this. This is gonna make everything better. And it was the first time I realized, I go to for a meeting with one of the counselors, a psychologist there, and I'm watching from the outside as Sabrina is 100% bullshitting this woman.
Yeah.
Okay? And I see it clear as day. And it's a funny thing because as she does that same thing to me, I don't see
No,
it. You know?
you're too close.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
too close to it. But I'm watching her do this. And I'm like, this isn't going well. A few days later, Mark and I are in the car, and I get a call from the psychologist that's at this place, and she says, I'm very concerned about Sabrina. And I said, well, so am I. What's going on? I can't tell you. I can't tell you about this. You need to ask her. I'm like, so it's building.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I need to understand. Well, what are you talking about? What's going on? Well, I think you should talk to her about it. I'm like, well, I'm talking to you, and she's, it's building. Till I get to the point, you're the one with the effing degree,
Right.
okay? Tell me
What's going
how
on?
to help my daughter. What am I to do? Tell me what to do. And I'm screaming at her now, okay? And she's still telling me I can't tell you anything, right? So finally, I say, you tell me what to do. She goes, I think you could really benefit from some counseling.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we know then we decide that, this isn't working, and we come back home and we're gonna try some other things. We try to do alternative school, and this doesn't work, and so we say, well, you know what, some kids' school's just not for them, maybe, it'd be better she gets to work, and, and she can build her life that way.
Yeah.
And I will say with her, she always was very good about, like, taking care of herself. Then she gets a job, and, I buy her a car, and I put her on a payment plan. She's paying off the car, she's paying her car insurance, everything is going pretty well. And there's then some warning signs. Some things don't. There's a new boyfriend in the picture,
Always
and
the
it's
boyfriend.
always the
Always the
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we see now she's starting to, she doesn't go to school anymore, she's now 18,
Yeah.
and she's not coming home as often, staying over the boyfriend, staying over this and that. Well, Mark and I had just got married, and we had gone on our honeymoon, and I get a phone call from Sabrina. It's my last day there, we're heading home, and she says, by the way, I'm in the hospital. And I said, well, what do you mean you're in the hospital? And she said, oh yeah, I got this abscess. What do you mean an abscess?
Yeah.
And I don't even know what an abscess is right at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's from the Tide detergent you use. That's what it is.
Oh,
okay?
the
Yeah.
detergent.
Mm-hmm. This is right before we left, and she told me she had poison ivy on her feet.
Yeah.
So here I am, but the person who can snip out her bullshit to anybody else is buying
Like,
this
okay,
story. Yeah.
I'll get you a detergent.
Yeah.
If
So,
she can do it to the psychologist, she can do it to you, right?
Right.
Exactly. And I think I know her better than anyone.
Yeah.
So, I knew enough to say something's not right, and my sisters and my mom are now involved. Call them. Something's weird going on. Oh, I said, how long you been at the hospital for? She goes, 3 days. I go, what do you mean you've been at the hospital for 3 days? For a month going around. Yeah. So I send my mom and my sisters up to the hospital, and I'm on my way home. So I'm literally at Logan Airport. I'm on the commuter bus, and my mom calls to say she's just admitted it. She's shooting heroin, and here I am bawling out loud on the commuter bus, with everybody looking at me like, what's going on with this woman? And it was like getting punched in the face. It was like the reality set in. you saw all this, you knew it, you made an excuse for everything you saw because you think you can fix this.
Right.
And I finally said to myself, like, maybe I'm not in control. Maybe
Yeah.
I really don't
couldn't
control
deny
it. Yeah.
You couldn't deny it at that point.
Exactly. So I go to the hospital, and it's not my daughter lying in this bed. She is not. You know, she was always never disrespectful to me. Anything. I mean, she's blank. She's just, and I'm just don't understand what's going on. And
Yeah.
I tell her she needs to go to treatment, and she's not. And it was probably, God was definitely with us that day because I brought Kyla and Jimmy and Tommy into the room, and I lined them up at the end of the bed, and I said, take a good look at your brothers and your sister, and you make the decision. You either go to treatment today, or you say goodbye to them, because I will not subject them
Right.
to your craziness.
Right.
They will not, live this.
They're all younger.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all, very, and Tommy at this point is just, I mean, he's very young.
Yeah.
And so, I was so lucky that day because she was still in there. She was deep down in there, and that, that bond to her family, her siblings, her cousins, her aunts, her grandparents, Mark, her father, that it was still, that bond was
It was
strong
worth it.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said, I'll go. So now here we are to the next problem. Where am I sending her?
Right.
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about
Yeah.
this. I don't even know anything about, like, addiction or anything at
Yeah.
this point.
Right.
So I go home, the hospital says, well, she's, we're kicking her out tomorrow. And I'm standing in my driveway, not knowing what to do, and I called the crisis line.
Mhm.
I didn't know what else to do, and
Yeah.
I said, I don't know what to do. My 19-year-old girl is, this, and I mean, God definitely was with me because this person was like an angel, and said, here's my advice to you, and get her out of that environment now. She needs to get away from this.
People, places, and things.
Mm-hmm. And I said, I'll send her to Alaska if that's what you tell
Yeah.
me to do.
Right.
You just tell me. And we had her on a plane to California, that very next morning. Which is a great little side story is while I'm on my way to pick her up, I get T-boned in my car.
What?
Yes, I get T-boned in my car, and my car's totaled, okay? It's
On the way to bring her.
yeah, I was grabbing her from my mother's house, so here I am in my smashed car, right? Left my cell phone on the table at home, people running over, oh my God, I'm like, give me your phone.
Forget it,
Give
yeah,
me
I'm
your
good,
phone,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
get her to the
Yeah.
airport now.
Yeah.
Thank God she got her there.
Yeah.
She's on the plane. She's headed to California. She went to Desert Palms Recovery. You may have seen it on Intervention.
Okay.
That's, again, I had no idea where they were going to send her, but they sent her here. Amazing place. So she did detox again. She did 45 days there. And in the beginning, it was tough for her. Mark and I flew out so we could do parents weekend, family weekend, and start to really learn about this disease. And this was like really the beginning of my education of like, you're not in control.
Right.
Yeah.
Learning that I didn't cause this, I can't control it,
Yeah.
I can't fix it.
Mhm.
And with a whole bunch of other parents there. And it was the first time I think that I felt like that kind of connection as I was sitting in a room with other people that knew what it felt like to be me.
Sure.
When like certain things that would happen to me, like these things, Sabrina would be acting out and things would be going on, and I didn't want anybody to know about it. I didn't want like my friends, the community.
The big secret, yeah.
Yeah, it was my big
Yeah,
secret.
yeah.
So, here I am as, I'm team mom for Pop Warner, and
Yeah.
I'm getting down there to get everybody set up, and the other moms are talking about what a crazy day they had, and I'm sitting here saying, really? Because I convinced a police officer not to arrest my daughter
Right.
for passing fake money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your day was
That's
crazy?
my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, that's my
Which,
life.
I could never say, but
Right.
and that's one of the things is, it feels very lonely. It feels
Yeah.
like nobody understands what I'm going through. No, I don't want to talk to other people about it because as a mother, you can't help but feel like, did I cause this?
Right.
Did I fail as a mother? Did I, what could I have done differently?
And what year was this in?
this must have been, so she was 19, she's, 25 now, so this was 6 years ago, so that was 2007.
So this is when like recovery wasn't talked about.
But it's
as
still,
it is
but
now.
it's still like that today, because
Yeah.
people are on the assumption that it's a moral feeling still.
Right.
So then you're under the assumption that people are gonna perceive you like I feel as a mother, or I feel
Yeah.
as a parent, which you didn't, you
No.
certainly didn't,
Right.
but that's the feeling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's why it's so important when we say like end the stigma. It's like the stigma puts a huge barrier on you getting the support you need, and like you
Yes.
getting with your peers and saying, hey, what do you guys do? Like,
Right.
what happened in this scenario? Because more people are going through it than we realize.
Right.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
we just think we're unique, and it's like it's only happening to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if it keeps pausing. I don't know why it's not pausing on my thing, so I apologize.
Should we read some comments and then get back?
Sure. Susan is struggling to stay sober. I go 9 or 10 days and I drink. Reach out to the page. I think someone from the page actually said that to reach out, and I'm sure we can try to help you. If you want to listen in and see if you can get any strength from what we're saying, and know that you're not alone. Mike and I have been there. It's not easy.
And thanks for the courage for
Yeah.
reaching out and saying
Yeah.
that on a feed.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's a huge, first step. Mariah, hi Jess, by the grace of God, I'm coming up on a year clean. I'm so proud of you. That's incredible. Keep going one day at a time. You're doing awesome. I don't see any other comments besides the pausing comments to you.
Linda Blundell said hello,
Oh.
everyone. Rory Sly says I changed it to my phone. It's fine. So maybe watch from your phone. It's working for Rory, and that's it.
I think that's
Yeah.
it.
So I think we left off like the parenting
Should we
weekends
do a
at the
reminder
moms.
for Dollar Tree?
Oh yeah, do a reminder,
So,
and then we'll get back into
Our
it.
magic number was 9 in, memory of Sabrina, so if anyone can help donate so that we can continue scholarshiping people to safe, reputable, sober living. We never wanna have to say no. In order to do that, we do need donations. So the Venmo's at Recovery Solutions. If you've donated in the past, we really appreciate it. We've been, like Mike said in the beginning, we've been able to scholarship a bunch of guys into treatment.
For this month.
Yeah,
so.
for this month, and we wanna keep doing that, and keep giving them that chance to live in a sober and safe environment, so they can continue their path. It's a lot easier to keep on that path and keep building the strength, in that continuum of care. So again, our magic number is 9. Feel free to donate more, donate less at Recovery Solutions. And again, our event is Sunday, September 12th. If you want to do a resource table, vendor, donations, because we need money to put that on as well, reach out to us. So I think that's
Good
my
stuff.
spiel, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Good
think-
job.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. I think I covered it all.
So you learned the 3 C's. You didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't change it.
Woo!
Yes.
I've been
Yeah.
waiting for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the 3 C's.
That
Yeah,
was-
family. Yeah.
That's,
Well, I should know this. I do a family.
but that was,
group.
I know, but that you just
Yeah.
boomed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else did you learn in that program?
And I'd like to say that I learned that then, but believe me.
Putting it into action is different, right?
Yeah. But one of the things that was great, it was hard for her in the beginning, and Mom, why are you doing this to me? Why do you make me come out here, and then she started to change. Then she started to feel like, you know what, maybe this is good for me. And for the first time in Sabrina's life, she got access to a quality psychiatrist.
That's
And
important.
That's tough, yeah.
at 19 years old, after all of those years of her struggles with trying to make relationships, friends, Sabrina was like, she was such a funny kid and so loved, yet she felt so lonely and sad at times.
Yeah.
And, at 19 years old, she gets this opportunity to work with this psychiatrist, and she's diagnosed for the first time that she has bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, you're like, boom, right? And, they get her on some medications, and things, really started to click for her. And the next time I come out, she said, you know what, Mom, you know, I can't just come home, like, I need to stay here. She said, I need to go into sober living and I need to continue.
Wow.
That's
with,
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, and she's just a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I realized, I'm like, she's starting to evolve, and you know, this is working.
Yeah.
And that at that point, I met somebody that ended up, you know, he's such an important person in my life. I met Nick Spadafino, who runs Palm Desert Recovery, and Sabrina had decided, she had, you know, some different kind of flyers, applications and stuff of where to go into sober living, and she went in with to Nick's program, and she did IOP, and she was there for a couple of years, and all of a sudden we were seeing her grow up.
Yeah.
You know,
Come back to life.
yeah, and so Sabrina had 4.5 years.
Wow.
And out there, and it was amazing, like, you know, to see her like this, to see her fulfilled, so happy. But unfortunately, this is where her story kind of takes a turn, because Sabrina she after she had left Palm Desert Recovery, she, you know, worked as an assistant manager there for a while, and then she wanted to get on her own. She wanted to spread her wings.
Yeah.
And she met somebody, and they moved in together. Sabrina went back to school. She got her GED. She went to esthetician school. She got her esthetician's license. She opened a little shop, and she was, you know, really enjoying life. She got engaged to be married, and life was great.
Yeah.
The problem is that during that time, while all of these like amazing things were happening, she was pulling away from her program, pulling away from her sober community. And I will tell you, out there in Palm Desert, amazing sober community.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It's so
amazing.
important.
And and so some of these things, like going to school, and now you're going to school with other girls, and you're trying to make friendships, and these girls are gonna go out for drinks after school and stuff, and you
wanna be normal.
part.
And she was so young, getting sober, like, so, like, that's tough.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, you just knocked my coffee over on me.
That would have been good for the TV.
My wife for it, I was so upset. You know, that's tough.
Yeah.
Getting young at that age, because, what was she, 20?
She was 21, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
it was just
22,
legally.
You can't even legally have it.
Yeah, because I first started getting clean at 20, and it was so hard, because at 21,
Excitement,
going
Yeah.
up, that's the normal thing to do, and suddenly, what everyone else is doing that's normal is making you feel like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why can't I, maybe I can, you know what, maybe I can go do this. Maybe
Or-
I can go have a drink, or whatever.
Or your disease just has you under the illusion that, hey, I am normal now.
Yeah.
It's been 4.5
exactly.
years. Like, well, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
I'm
I can use one time. I can drink one time.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. And that's why, like, complacency is like the enemy with people with clean time.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get under this illusion. Now I'm cured. I got this.
Yeah.
And that's actually the third C, cured. That's
I can cure that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
can't
can
cure
cure it.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cured,
you can't control it. You didn't cause it, and you can't cure it.
Mm-hmm.
For families.
not change it.
Not change it. No.
Okay, so we're moving to change it.
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah.
but-
But like
yeah.
you think people
Yeah.
get cured, it's like a lifelong battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly where she was, is that I just, you know, I want to be like everybody else, and I want to do this, and you know, it was, I always say, is I'm like, you know, addiction was waiting there. It was just waiting in the corner. just
Always.
waiting
Doing
for
push-ups.
her. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
a great analogy,
Yeah.
And so, you know, she ended up, she came home one day, and her fiance said, I don't love you, I don't want to be with you, this isn't working for me.
Oh
And
my
it
God.
destroyed her, it crushed her, and no foundation,
Yeah.
no sober foundation, no, you know, no community to run back
Yeah.
to.
And it's all the fears that come out then. You
Yeah,
know, fear
not
of
good
abandonment,
enough.
fear of rejection,
Yeah.
fear of not, like, all that stuff. So he or she is not connected to a recovery community, and this bomb gets dropped.
Yes.
And all those fears come to the surface.
Yes, yes. So she did what, you know, exactly what we all expected. She ran home.
Yeah.
She drove 3,000 miles in like less than 3 days.
Oh my God.
She got home so fast, you know, but I kept pushing her. I'm like, don't come back. You need to stay there. This is where, you know, this is where your community is, you know, go back to Nikki,
Yeah.
you know, and but she was hell-bent, like, no, what I need to do is, I need to be home, I need to be with my family, you know, and that's hard to say, like, you know, I mean, all of us wanted her back,
Right,
you know,
Sure,
wanted her
of
home.
of course.
So she came home, and at first it seemed like things, you know, were good. She was like, I gotta find work, I gotta do this, but you know, what we noticed is that there was an awful lot of excuses. Yeah, I'm gonna go get to a meeting. Yeah, I couldn't, I had to shift, I had to work. And you're like, you're almost to the point, you're like, but I don't want I don't want it to be bad. Like, I'm you know, I'm just gonna stick with, she's gonna be good. And, she was for a while. Things were good for a while. And then she got back in touch with old friends, and, you know, in you know, into these situations again. And, you know, Mark and I were having lunch, and I get a call from Kyla and Jimmy. You know, they're teenagers at this, you know, still at this time. And I say, I can't wake Sabrina up. Kyla says, Sabrina was in my makeup, and I'm gonna kick her ass, but I can't wake her up.
Yeah.
And here I come screaming into the driveway. I'm like, go get a bucket of water and throw it on her. Like, I didn't even know what. I'm like, something, right? And up the stairs in no time, and shaking, I can't get her up. I can call 911, they're there, 2 shots in our can, and she's finally puking all over herself, you know? And Kyla and Jimmy watched this whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, they you know, as kids, they had to see this. And the back off went to the hospital. Now I don't know what to do, and now, you know what, everything that I've learned, I can't control this, I can't cure this, all out the window. I'm gonna fix this, because I got a plan. You know what, and she's going back to California, and she's going right away. And you know what, I'm gonna make sure she goes to California, because they stole her license out of her wallet. Because this is how I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be mommy. You're gonna change it. It's all gonna work out.
Yeah. This is what I'm gonna do, and, you know, and in hindsight, it's so crazy, like, what my thought process was at this time. Like, who the hell is putting an addict that just overdosed the day before? She was out of her mind on a plane.
Right.
You know, but this is what I think I have to do immediately.
Yeah.
Well, she hops off the plane in Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and bless his soul, Nikki drives 4.5 hours to Phoenix and finds her. And gets
What?
her.
Wow,
Yes.
what a guy.
Yeah.
So what was it?
You
Just
get
a
it.
connecting plane, and she jumped off?
Mm-hmm.
Where was she gonna go?
Well, she didn't have a plan. She was
Yeah,
gonna
you
figure it out.
Yeah, we figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We figure it out.
Exactly. So he gets her, he brings her back, and she's like, you know, she bolts in no time. You know, but
In
she's now,
California, or here?
and now in California.
Yep.
And now, you know, I mean, she's out there, and again, bless his soul, he, you know, he's stalking her. He knows exactly where she is, and we're trying to work this process of getting her, you know, go back, do the right thing, and she won't. And she's crafty. She found a way. She got somebody to get her another license, mail it up there to her, and she's in the driveway of her dad's house. And he, you know, I'll never forget, he called me up. He's like, she's standing in my driveway.
So she drove home.
She hopped on the plane. She got somebody to get her another license,
Gotcha.
get it out there to her,
Yeah.
and now here she goes. She gets somebody to lend her some money, grabbed a plane ticket, and here she is, back in her father's driveway.
5 hours, boom.
Oh, yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Yep.
And you think, so how do I, you know, we do this all again. And here's the scary part is, she's not a little girl anymore.
No.
She's not getting grounded for, you know, for being a drug addict.
Right,
You know?
right.
She's a grown woman now, and she's spent a lot of time taking care of herself.
Yeah.
I don't run the show anymore. I don't make the rules.
Nope.
And, you know, I don't know what to do. And, you know, so I tell her, you can't be in my house, you know, because you have to get clean. And it was terrible. She spent Christmas in a motel room by herself. God knows what she was up to, what she was doing, because she refused to go in. And I guess this is one of the crazy things, is because as a mother, like, how I was feeling is, and I, you know, I'm embarrassed to actually say this, but here I'm thinking, like, how can you do this to me?
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
I don't know, like, this isn't about me, you
Right,
know,
it's
this
not,
is not
yeah,
about
right,
me.
yeah.
But I'm so angry at her.
Yeah.
I feel like everything we've done for you and have
Yeah.
been by your side. Like,
How dare you?
Yeah, yeah. And I would say I was letting this anger get the best of me, because I can't, like, I won't even connect with her. I'm like, not talking to you until you commit. and you know, I'll get a recovery center to send a van down. They're there. She won't get in. She's gone. She's, you know, and we play this till she finally goes. But what I realize is I'm like, I can see it in her face. She's not committed to this.
Right.
This isn't the level of commitment she had when, you know,
The
when she was
willingness of it.
involved. Yeah. And you know, so she did the thing. She went to school, you know, she went in the program, she went to sober living, and then she was out, this very nice woman that worked at the sober house rented a room to her, and she gave her a job in her salon, and you know, she was doing lashes and stuff there, and but you know, it was at this point, I mean, these behaviors were happening, she was hiding it. You know, she came to Jimmy's high school graduation, and I could tell, I'm like, Jesus, she's got to be 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
You know, the warning signs
The
are all
telltale
there
signs,
again,
yeah.
you know, and then you know, and then I'm sitting in my office, and my admin says, Heather, there's two cops there that want to talk to you, and I don't know why, but I'm here thinking, I'm like, my house got broken into.
Yeah.
They had to tell me that my house got robbed.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, and they tell me, you know, I apologize, but that I have to come and tell you this, but we found your daughter this morning, and I'm sorry, she's gone. And you know, you're like, you know, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know, and so I spent those next few weeks like really trying to like wrap my, you know, my hands around like this, like how did we get here? Where did I go wrong? Like what did I do this? And I you know, I reached out, and I talked to a lot of people, and I started to, you know, to come to grips with the fact of like you said, I didn't cause this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control it, and I couldn't cure it. I couldn't, you know, and.
But as a mom, those are the hardest things to have to deal with.
Yeah. And thankfully, I mean, I don't blame myself.
Yeah.
I truly am
Good.
content with knowing that I really did everything I could. It doesn't, you know, doesn't change the fact that I wish she was still here, that it, you know, that it didn't have to be her, but then you start to say to yourself, like, well, how do you move on? Like, for one, I got 3 other children.
Right.
I can't fall apart, you know? And how do you get past this? Like, how do you move on? And that's when I realized that, I was like, you know, what is it that you really want to keep with you and remember about your daughter, you know? And I said to myself, I'm like, it didn't matter. My daughter's whole life, as much as she didn't love herself enough, the amount of love she had to other people, especially the people that were less fortunate than her. Sabrina would drive around all day, taking this one to the grocery store,
Yeah.
helping this one pick up her kids, you know, do this. She was always there to help people. And that's when I started to really hear a lot of the stories. Like, for one, and I did know this one, but my next door neighbor, who was her friend growing up, had called her and said, you know, I can't do this anymore. I'm sick. You know, my addiction is just taking this control of me. And she helped get him out there. She got him to California.
Wow.
She got him into the program at Palm Desert. He's studying for the bar exam right now.
Wow. Look at that.
Impact on people's
Amazing.
lives.
He's just you know, and it's an amazing story. But then these stories kept coming. People were contacting me and saying, "You don't know me, but this is what she did for me." One of the, you know, Michaela will tell you the story. I mean, Michaela O'Rourke was her very best friend.
She just told you to just breathe.
Yes. But they, you know, just the things of, you know, when she was sick, and, you know, having her come in, and Sabrina, you know, getting her a shower, getting her dressed, and putting lashes on her.
Yeah.
And she's
something
like, and just making her feel human again.
Yeah. And that's a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, to make someone, that she had that impact on someone else.
Yeah.
But that's a gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So I realized, I'm like, you know what, whatever God's plan was for Sabrina, he had a bigger plan for her, and it was time.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. And it's, oh, it's doing so good.
No,
No, you're doing fine. You're
I
doing
cry
fine.
on it, it's fine,
You're doing fine.
it's
Just in
fine.
case.
But I say, I'm like, you know what, I'm still here and you know what, I need to continue her work.
Yeah.
That is, that's how I can truly honor her.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, well, I'm gonna start a foundation and, you know, I'm gonna focus on women, you know, because, when I looked at Sabrina's life and her struggles through that and how when she looked in that mirror, she didn't see that beautiful person, that beautiful heart that she had. And I'm like, there's just so many girls out there that struggle that same way, just don't realize how, you know, how much their lives matter, how, you know, how much people love them. So we started the foundation and, you know, Michaela and I, you know, got together and, you know, we kind of talked about it, my husband Mark, and we started Rise Again. So it's a funny thing, it just kind of keeps evolving.
Yeah.
It started out with, we're going to provide scholarships for sober living to women in need. And we do that, we do quite a bit of that, but we realize there's so many more other things that we could do.
Sure.
You know, I the one thing I say is like with all the money that we raise for scholarships, I'm like, but nothing's made me feel as great as like doing a wiffle ball tournament.
Mm-hmm.
To bring so many organizations together and say, what if we all started working together?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't
That's what
think
we need to do.
addiction
We
would see
need
that
to.
coming,
No.
you know? And I realized, I'm like, so, you know, branching out these things that, you know, we were down at Mass Ave with Justin Downey from Mass Ave Project yesterday, and it was a great day. Like, we connected with Boston Public Health Commission, and they worked together with us, like, gave us security down there.
Yeah.
We were able to you know, give out so much. Like, it was just really great, and so we just kind of keep evolving and changing. You know, I guess my whole thing with the foundation is, if you need help and it's gonna benefit recovery, I'm in.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Whatever it is.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. We all do need to, and I think we've been doing a pretty good job of working together, and you know, we're always here to help one another.
Absolutely, we have to.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to. Like you said, that's the way we can.
Yeah.
Addiction might not see it
Yeah.
coming. You know, we're the ones doing push-ups, not the disease.
Exactly.
You know, we work
Yeah.
together.
Stay ahead of it.
Let's see. So Rory Sly said, "So sorry for your loss."
Thank you.
Someone from Greater Waltham said, "Thank you for sharing your story. So sorry for your loss. Everyone's worst nightmare is getting that call." Kathy Collins said to Susan, "There is help." Thank you, Kathy,
Thank
for
you,
tuning
Kathy.
in. Mary Ellen Tango.
Yanakopoulos.
Yanakopoulos. I thought I was going to do it.
Yes.
I thought
You were almost there. I
I
think
Yeah.
you were.
but I think I
You
should.
just need a little spot, like at the gym.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Mary Ellen is one of our board members, and she is non-stop.
That's
Non-stop.
awesome.
She's awesome, and thank you, Mary Ellen, for everything you do. Rise Again couldn't do it without you.
She said, "You got this, sister."
Sister.
And someone else from Greater Waltham said, "Sorry for your loss." So I guess we're going to take a quick moment of silence for Sean Merrill, who lost his battle but helped so many in the recovery world and really was instrumental in bringing Teen Challenge into the forefront for this generation of recoveries. I didn't know him personally, but I can just see on Facebook and stuff that this is a big shock to the recovery world. And Sean really did help a lot of people. So we can take a brief moment of silence. So again, you know, sorry for the loss of Sean, and yeah, that you're not alone. If you're struggling, reach out. You know, there's no shame in it. There's no shame if you relapse. Just reach out to us. Reach out to the page. Reach out to Heather. Just reach out to someone, because it's a scary time out there, and no one's invincible, and no one's a smarter drug addict or a smarter alcoholic. This can kill you and will kill you. and there's so many great communities and programs and people that are there to lend a hand. So if you're struggling, just no matter what, just reach out to someone who's been on the show, someone from Greater Waltham, someone from anywhere, because there's so many instrumental people in this field.
We'll be able to help,
Yeah.
and if we can't,
Yeah.
we know someone who can.
Exactly. So let's see what else. So again, our magic number was 9, and we're scholarshiping people with that money. So the dollars for angels, our angels, like I said, are people who are still struggling, who need help, paying for sober living. And just that little bit of willingness for someone who wants to go into sober living is so huge and can be such a game changer. And so we want to never have to say no. So again, at Recovery Solutions, magic number is 9. Like if you can donate more, if you can donate less, it's all going to a really good cause so that we can continue doing it. Because like with scholarship, 4 or 5 people
This month,
and we want to
absolutely.
be able to keep doing that. People are reaching out to us, so to just never have to say no. Trina Benson said Heather does a great job.
Well, thank you, Trina. Trina's been a great help with raising money for our scholarship fund, and we appreciate it and we love you, Trina. Thank you.
So you started the nonprofit, and you surrounded yourself with a board of people that really help you.
Yes.
And does that keep you from, does that give you the strength to keep pushing on? You kind of said, for Sabrina, and kind of giving you that purpose.
Yeah,
to give back.
absolutely. When you see somebody, there's nothing I love better when I see a young person taking their life back.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see with addiction, and the way I look at it, is if you truly believe in heaven and hell, if you believe in good and evil, that addiction, that is evil to me. And it's, I looked at it with my own daughter. It was like an exorcism. That's what it felt like, going through. So when I see somebody, taking their life back, or wanting help, or wanting to fight back, I mean, it really, it fills me with a good feeling.
Yeah.
And, I know Sabrina is proud of that. That's what she wants to see me doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what would you, say any parents out there who have lost a child to addiction or have children that are struggling with addiction, what advice would you give them?
So my advice would be is talk to somebody. Definitely, if you're struggling with it, reach out to me. If you want, or there's such a community of people. I know for me, when I was struggling with it, because I had my Nikki, and when I needed to understand how to give tough love, when I needed to be able to say, what, you can't call me because you're not following the rules, you're not doing what you say, and having that person to say, what, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't feel good,
No.
you want to be like, I love you.
Right.
Yeah, good job holding that boundary. And it came to a point where, there'd be times where Nikki would say to me after, Sabrina was well into her recovery of, Heather, I need you to talk to this mom. She's struggling.
Yeah.
Her daughter's really
Yeah.
pushing her buttons, and I need you to talk to her. And I can remember back then being like, having that conversation and being like, I know how you feel.
Right.
I know where you're at.
Wow.
So I think that's huge for parents. And I think it's important for those of us who have lost children. I know when it was Sabrina, nobody knows what to say to you.
No.
They're just like, I'm sorry for your loss, and they're uncomfortable and they're weird, and so what I try to do all the time is I'm like, is remind people it's okay to ask questions. Ask. I want you to know, because if you listen to my story, or if you ask me questions about it, like, I'm educating you, so maybe that you understand, because it's the sick reality is we all either are somebody, love somebody, know somebody who's been affected by addiction.
Right.
100%.
That's the world today. And so I make a point of it. I mean, like I said, I'll bring it up in conversation, because I want people to get talking about it.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of people that don't understand it. They don't understand the disease, and it's again, it's important to talk about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that's huge.
What do you say, so you brought it up earlier, what do you say to, families who have lost a loved one, when they do, like, say they do blame themselves for it? What do you say to them?
Well, I just reminded I think one of the best things I heard when I went into the family counseling out at Desert Palms is they said, when they were explaining how, like, you can't fix this, you can't change this, like, look at the reality. If you could,
Right.
you'd be a superhero,
You'd be,
okay?
right.
You'd be like, you'd be
Yeah.
able to
Solve one of the world's biggest crises.
exactly, exactly, and so people, blaming yourself for this, you need to get past that, and I mean, being of service, is to me the number one way to make you feel better. Like I always say is that, you know what, I couldn't save my daughter, that wasn't possible, but maybe I can give a little bit of hope to somebody.
Yeah.
And if they get a little bit of hope, with hope, anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's
Love
like
that.
a Mikey line with hope.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. So, and it's a matter of like, I gave you a new pair of socks,
Yeah.
or I put you a little basket together, or
Yeah.
I gave you a scholarship to get to that next step. You know what? Maybe this is gonna be the time, and it's gonna work for you.
That's,
I love it.
and it's
Yeah.
really powerful too, just that little bit of hope. And it's hard when you lose someone. Like my children got, but just friends, because then you go through the motions of that last time. So how do you? I guess it's kind of like what Mike asked, but how do you deal with, like, does that stuff go away? With
No,
like,
I still cry in the shower.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know what? And then I pull my shit together and
Yeah.
I go to work
Yeah.
and I do my thing. I mean, I do think it's important. You have to let yourself grieve. It
Yeah.
happened. It is, and you've got to, you got to deal with it. You got to let it out. And it's and talking about it it definitely makes it a little easier.
For sure.
Right.
Connecting with people who have, who've been through similar,
Yeah.
situations. It's just none of us ever wanted to be part of this club.
Right.
It's a club nobody wants
Nobody
to have
wants to.
membership to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those of us that are in it, you know what? We need to support each other.
It's just so sad because I've seen that. I think it's a quote that it used to be, when I was growing up, there would be a bunch of kids that had, divorced parents. I was in
Mhm.
that club that everyone else's parents are together.
Yeah.
And now what's sad is there's a generation growing up that have lost a parent to an overdose.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's a scary.
Yeah.
I was almost gonna swear, but I caught myself. Like that's a scary reality.
Yeah.
That because it's not. I've heard in the past 2 weeks 2 different people that have died from overdoses that had clean time.
Mhm.
That.
A generation of kids that get raised by their grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a big grandparent support is another huge thing, but it's hopefully that from Heather's story and from what we're saying is that, like a little bit of hope.
Yes.
You never have to use again. You never have to drink again. There's help available. We have a plethora of resources, at our disposal. For anyone that is struggling and for anyone that's lost a child, reach out. Heather,
Absolutely.
she seems like more than willing to help someone because that helps your process, right?
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
it helps you move forward.
Yeah.
Which is instrumental. Let's see. Roy Sly said, "Thanks for sharing your story. Very helpful and appreciated. If our love could fix our loved ones, we wouldn't be here." Right.
Absolutely.
And Cheryl Gauthier said, "Heather, you are a great spokesperson. You really are.
Cheryl.
You really are."
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, we have a few minutes left. So what are some of the ways, what are some of the funding sources that you guys have for the foundation, Sabrina Best Foundation? Like
So,
the wiffle ball tournament and things like that?
Yeah.
How can people pitch in, donate?
Yeah, so we will have coming up, September 18th will be our second annual Rise Up Against Addiction motorcycle poker run.
Oh,
Nice.
that
sounds
that's
fun.
that is a
I wish I had a
fun event.
motorcycle.
You have to have a motorcycle to play poker.
Oh,
You
okay.
do not. You can drive. You can drive.
I
So
gotta tell my
basically,
boyfriend.
yeah, how it works, we start out at high octane Harley Davidson, and you get your first card, and then you go to each of the stops, you get your card at each one, and you know, whoever has the best poker hand wins the pot, you know, wins it.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, Tommy's already got
No,
one.
no, that's a
No, that's a
different
different
Tommy.
Tommy. Oh, Tommy Cucko will be
Yeah,
there. I know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
My Tommy doesn't have a motorcycle anymore, but maybe he'll borrow my friend that passed away, his motorcycle's around somewhere, but I
Yeah.
gotta tell him,
Oh,
he plays
yeah.
poker.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
right.
That's
Oh,
like,
great.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's an awesome
That's a
event.
spectacular idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably one of our probably the biggest fundraiser that we have, that raises funds for the Scholarship Foundation. We also do, and some of our funds from that go to as well. We do at Christmas we do a Christmas drive, and we call it Santa's Angels. And what it is women that are currently in treatment, living in sober living or rehab or whatnot, can apply. And basically what we ask is send me the kids' Christmas lists.
Wow.
And I take the Christmas lists and go buy all the presents and wrap them and bring them to you, so that you know you can, make sure your kids have.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's
Christmas.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's like, that's incredible.
That's the best. Yeah, I love it.
Because when you're in treatment, and it's like you can't even think of that, but you want to. You want
And
to.
then you feel less of yourself because you can't provide
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. So that's.
It was awesome last year. I think we had 60 kids, 510 Christmas presents. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, I have an amazing board. They wrapped a lot of Christmas
Wrapping
gifts.
is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the worst part of Christmas is wrapping gifts. So that's a lot of gifts.
That's a lot.
Yeah. My own kids were like, "Are we getting
Yeah,
anything?"
exactly.
They're
Yeah.
like, "Don't touch them."
You're like, help wrap
yeah.
these stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And I love the focus on women, because sadly, there isn't as much resources for women.
There's not?
Even sober living. You know,
Yeah.
there's just not as much.
Yeah.
So to be able to specify it, here we're going to help women in need, because it's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important and so needed.
So what we so with that, so the poker run is a big fundraiser, and we do the wiffle ball tournament. That was our first one ever we did, but that'll be an annual thing as well. And then we'll run raffles throughout the year, and those are huge. And one of the greatest things about, besides that Rise Again gives away great raffle prizes, one of the great things is that you hear about a lot of foundations that have to kind of shut down because they just don't have any money to do things. We've never come across that. It doesn't matter. These applications come in, and women who qualify, we're able to. We've never been in a position to say like, well, we don't have any money to do that. So
God will provide.
Absolutely. So that's been amazing. And like I said, it's all these different things that the foundation keeps evolving in new ways that we can help.
That's amazing. Good work.
I might need
Awesome stuff.
We might need to pull our raffle, but I gotta check and see if I have the tickets. If not, we can do it next week, but if the raffle.
Are you running out to check?
I'm running out to check to see if the raffle, because I had to switch bags, because I had a nectarine problem that exploded, so I'm gonna just go check and see if they're in my car.
It's always something.
Oh my God.
On the show. So don't forget, reach out to the page if you're struggling. We provide volunteer or complimentary recovery coaching. We provide quick access into treatment placement, treatment consulting. We can go over options for you. We work with families to find their loved one best chance for success. We offer scholarships for sober living. Our account is a little low. We've scholarshiped about 4 men this month, a few the month prior. So we're still trying to, add to the pot so we can, provide that to more people. And don't forget, the number is 9 tonight. That's our number in order to memorialize Sabrina. So donate $9 to @Recovery Solutions, and your money goes to that scholarship fund. And I think Jess is back. Good news or bad?
I think she's locked out.
Oh, she's locked out.
Okay. Woohoo! I got them.
Okay.
be like a little excitement on our show.
Yeah.
So these are the raffle tickets for the Patriots picture
Yeah.
that has the coins.
The coin, the Super Bowl
The
tickets.
super, you want me to use your hat?
No.
Why?
Just pick it out of there.
Okay.
Why don't you need my hat?
I don't know, I'm gonna make it, I don't know, so it's not in a plastic bag. We're gonna have you pick
You
it.
pick it,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, ready?
Alright, good luck, everyone.
Good luck. I think I'm so
Alright,
Oh,
alright,
you
here
didn't
we
split
go.
them up.
fast. Okay.
Sean Hanley.
Sean Hanley,
Hanley!
our winner! Woo!
Congratulations, Sean.
And thank you for all who bought tickets. This was our first time doing it, so we're, still
We
learning
know.
how to make sure I have the tickets, which is probably, actually, it was probably pretty, I did have them, which was exciting.
That was good.
So Sean Hanley, you won the Patriots picture, and all the money, for these tickets is gonna go into our scholarship fund. So we thank anyone who bought tickets, and we will let you know what the next fundraising event will be. So again, thank you, Heather, so much. This was really,
Amazing. You did a
amazing,
great
another
job.
great resource. So I will sneak over here, and I hope everyone, also, we are not on next week because it's 4th of July, so I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July, and we'll see you the next week.